Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're getting our hands dirty, so to speak, with some really interesting notes.
Well, yeah.
It's all about that critical moment, transplanting seedlings, and specifically what kind of potting mix works best.
Yeah, the sources are very practical, focused on observations, looking at Torenia Fournieri seedlings, actually.
Right, Turnia. So these notes are less theory and more kind of what did we actually see happening with the roots?
Exactly. It's about looking closely at the roots, the soil mix they were in, how it all, physically interacted, learning from doing.
Okay, so our mission here is to pull out the key takeaways from these observations. What really works for those tiny, delicate roots when you move them?
What makes a potting mix truly right for that stage? Let's dig in.
All right. So the notes start off talking about transplanting these Torenia seedlings as they get a bit taller.
Hmm.
And one of the first things mentioned is, well, kind of interesting, while lots of seedlings have tiny roots at first.
Yeah, sometimes barely there.
Right. But these notes say some of these Torenia actually develop pretty substantial root balls early on.
Okay.
There's even a picture mentioned showing how the roots really grabbed onto the soil mix when the seedling was lifted, like a solid clump.
And that, according to the notes, is the real starting point, that observation.
How so?
Well, seeing that strong root ball wasn't just like a nice detail. It was a clue
A clue to what?
to why it was holding together so well. Looking closely at how the mix clung to the roots, what the mix itself looked like,
Mm.
that tells you things.
Oh, okay.
And the source specifically says this healthy root ball, the one holding together nicely, came from a mix that had rice husks in it.
Rice husks. Okay, so seeing the good roots led them to identify the rice husks in that specific mix. But why? What's special about rice husks?
What did they do?
Yeah, what did the notes say they actually did for the roots?
Well, the notes are pretty clear on the benefits they saw. First, they said the rice husks really improved the drainage.
Okay, drainage, that makes sense. Water needs to get through so the roots don't just sit in wet, soggy soil.
Exactly. Prevents rot, keeps things healthy. That's crucial.
Right. Soggy roots, very unhappy roots. Was there more than just drainage?
Yes, definitely.
Mm.
The notes also mentioned the husks created lots of airspace. Aeration.
Aeration, okay.
Equally important, really. Roots need oxygen. Just like we need air to breathe, they need it to grow properly.
So the husks kind of prop the soil open a bit?
Sort of, yeah. Their structure allows air to circulate down there,
Yeah.
and it also just creates physical space for those little root hairs to spread out, explore, and build that strong structure they saw.
Ah, okay. So the drainage and the aeration provided by the rice husks directly led to that strong root ball they first noticed. Makes
It
sense.
connects back nicely, yeah.
Did the source compare this to other things people normally use, like perlite or vermiculite?
They did. The notes mentioned perlite, those little white volcanic glass bits.
Yeah, very common.
And vermiculite, that sort of flaky mineral that holds moisture, they acknowledge those are great materials, really good for texture and drainage, especially, they noted, when you're propagating cuttings.
Okay, good for cuttings, but
But based on what they observed with these Torenia seedlings, the source felt rice husks were a particularly effective and affordable alternative for general seedling mixes.
affordable, that's a key point.
Yes, compared to buying perlite or vermiculite, rice husks could be cheaper, but still gave them the drainage and aeration they needed for good seedling growth. So, a cost-effective win.
That really is a neat takeaway. It ties the needs of the seedling roots, good drainage, good aeration, to a practical, budget-friendly solution found by, well, just looking closely.
Right. It came straight from observing that successful root ball in that specific mix. Pay attention to the results. Figure out the cause.
It's fascinating how just watching something simple, like how soil clumps around roots, can lead you to these kinds of useful, accessible solutions.
It really is.
Yeah.
Real-world observation driving practical improvements.
And for you listening, maybe this specific idea about rice husks changes how you think about your own potting mix. Or maybe it just sparks an idea.
Yeah, maybe it makes you look around for other unexpected, maybe low-cost materials that could solve a problem you're facing, whether it's gardening or something else entirely.
Absolutely. Which leaves us with a thought to chew on, doesn't it?
It does. What other common, maybe humble, overlooked materials out there hold surprising value if we just take the time to really look at how things work, how things grow around us?